My beloved brothers and sisters, calm your hearts for a moment and remember who is in control. You are stressing over matters that Allah has already written, already planned, and is already resolving in ways you cannot yet see. Sometimes we become overwhelmed because we want everything to happen according to our timing, but Allah's timing is always perfect. What you are going through right now is not meant to break you, it is meant to build you, to draw you closer to Him, to make you stronger than you were before. So do not lose hope when things seem unclear. Continue to make your effort, continue to raise your hands in dua, and leave the rest to the one who never disappoints. Allah is already opening doors for you behind the scenes, arranging matters in your favor and protecting you from what you do not even know. So stop stressing over what you cannot control and start trusting the one who controls everything. When you place your trust in Allah sincerely, you will find a peace in your heart that no situation can take away. Complete reliance upon Allah is not just something we say with our tongues, it is something that must settle deep within the heart. Many people claim they trust Allah, yet their hearts remain restless, constantly shaken by every difficulty that comes their way. True reliance means you do your best with what you have, and then you leave the outcome to the one who controls all outcomes. It is understanding that no matter how much you plan, nothing will happen unless Allah wills it, and when He wills it, nothing can stop it. This realization brings a unique kind of peace because you are no longer carrying the weight of the entire world on your shoulders. When you place your trust in Allah sincerely, you begin to see challenges differently. Instead of panic, there is patience. Instead of fear, there is hope. You understand that whatever you are facing has already been written and it has a purpose even if that purpose is not immediately clear to you. Sometimes Allah delays things not because He is ignoring you, but because He is preparing something better, something more suitable for your growth and your future. Your role is to keep moving forward with effort and faith, not to sit in anxiety over things you cannot control. Reliance upon Allah also means accepting that His plan may not always match your expectations. And that can be difficult because as human beings we become attached to specific outcomes. But when things do not go your way, it does not mean things are going wrong. It may simply mean that Allah is redirecting you towards something greater. The believer understands that even closed doors are a form of mercy. So strengthen your trust in Allah daily. Turn to Him in your moments of ease, not just in hardship. Speak to Him, ask Him, rely on Him with conviction. Because when your heart is truly attached to Allah, you will find that no matter what happens around you, there is a calmness within you that cannot be shaken. That is the beauty of true reliance. It does not remove your tests, but it transforms the way you experience them. Trials have a way of making us pause, reflect, and reassess our lives, even though at first they may feel heavy and overwhelming. As human beings, we naturally dislike discomfort, and we often question why difficulties come our way. But when you begin to understand that trials are not a sign of Allah's anger, but often a sign of His care, your perspective starts to change. Sometimes Allah tests those He loves in order to purify them, to elevate their status, and to bring them closer to Him. What may seem like a burden is, in reality, a form of mercy unfolding in a way you cannot yet see. When everything is going well, it is easy to become distracted, to feel self-sufficient, and to forget our dependence on Allah. But when a trial strikes, suddenly our hearts turn back to Him. We raise our hands in dua, we become more conscious of our actions, and we seek comfort in our connection with Him. In this way, the hardship becomes a means of spiritual growth. It softens the heart, strengthens patience, and increases humility. These are qualities that cannot always be developed in times of ease. It is also important to remember that no trial lasts forever. Every hardship you face is temporary, no matter how long it feels in the moment. Allah promises that with difficulty comes ease, and that ease may come in forms you did not expect. Sometimes the ease is not the removal of the problem right away, but the strength Allah gives you to handle it. Sometimes it is the wisdom you gain, or the doors that open later as a result of what you endured. So instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Try asking, what is Allah teaching me through this? There is always a lesson, always a hidden blessing, always a wisdom behind every test. When you hold on to this understanding, your trials begin to feel lighter. You start to see them not as obstacles, but as stepping stones, each one shaping you into a stronger, more faithful, and more resilient believer. The unseen plan of Allah is something the human mind can never fully comprehend, yet it is something the believer learns to trust with certainty. We are limited in what we see, limited in what we know, and often quick to judge situations based on the present moment. But Allah sees what is ahead, what is hidden, and what is best for you in ways you cannot imagine. There are things you are asking for right now that, if given immediately, might harm you. And there are things you fear today that may actually lead you to something far better tomorrow. This is why trusting Allah's unseen plan requires humility, accepting that His knowledge is perfect while yours is not. At times, life may not make sense. Doors close, opportunities slip away, and plans fall apart despite your best efforts. In those moments, it is easy to feel lost or even question why things are happening the way they are. But what you fail to see is what Allah is protecting you from, what He is redirecting you toward, and what He is preparing for you behind the scenes. A delay is not always a rejection. A closed door is not always a loss. Sometimes it is Allah's mercy guiding you away from what was never meant for you. The believer understands that the unseen is where true trust is tested. Anyone can believe when things are going their way, but real faith is shown when you continue to trust, even when the path is unclear. It is holding on to hope when you do not yet see results, and believing that Allah is working for you even when everything seems still. This kind of trust brings peace because it removes the constant need to control every outcome. When you begin to internalize this, your heart becomes lighter. You stop overanalyzing every setback and start accepting that there is wisdom in every situation. You continue to make your effort, but you let go of the anxiety over results. Because deep down, you know that whatever Allah has planned for you will reach you, and whatever is not meant for you will never stay, no matter how much you try to hold on to it. Letting go of excessive worry is not about ignoring your responsibilities or pretending that challenges do not exist. It is about recognizing the limits of your control and refusing to let anxiety consume your heart. Many of us exhaust ourselves thinking about every possible outcome, replaying situations in our minds and trying to predict a future that only Allah knows. This constant state of worry does not change what is written, but it does steal your peace in the present moment. And that is something you cannot afford to lose. Worry often comes from the desire to control everything, to have certainty in a life that was never meant to be fully predictable. But when you remind yourself that Allah is in control, it becomes easier to release that burden. You begin to understand that overthinking will not solve your problems, and stressing will not speed up what is meant to come at its appointed time. What will benefit you is turning to Allah with sincerity, making your effort where you can, and then stepping back with trust in His wisdom. There is a difference between concern and worry. Concern pushes you to take action, to plan, and to be responsible. But excessive worry paralyzes you. It fills your heart with fear, drains your energy, and distracts you from what truly matters. Islam teaches balance. You tie your camel, and then you trust in Allah. You do what you can, but you do not allow your mind to spiral into endless anxiety over what you cannot control. When you let go of this constant worrying, you create space for peace, for gratitude, and for clarity. Your mind becomes calmer, your decisions become wiser, and your heart becomes more connected to Allah. You start to live with a sense of contentment, knowing that whatever comes your way has already been written and carries wisdom within it. This does not mean life becomes free of challenges, but it means those challenges no longer have the power to overwhelm you. Instead of being controlled by your fears, you are guided by your trust in Allah. That is a powerful transformation. Patience is often misunderstood as simply waiting without doing anything. But in reality, true patience is active and purposeful. It is the ability to remain steadfast while continuing to make the effort you are capable of making. Many people either rush and lose hope when things do not happen quickly, or they become passive and expect results without striving. The balance lies in combining patience with consistent action, trusting that Allah sees both your struggle and your sincerity. When you are facing a challenge, you are not meant to sit back and do nothing. You are encouraged to try, to seek solutions, to improve yourself, and to take the necessary steps forward. At the same time, you must accept that the outcome is not entirely in your hands. This is where patience comes in, not as a sign of weakness, but as a sign of strength. It is the ability to keep going even when results are delayed, to stay committed even when the path feels difficult, and to remain hopeful even when you do not see immediate change. There will be moments when you feel like giving up, when your efforts seem unnoticed, and when progress feels slow. But understand that nothing you do sincerely for the sake of Allah is ever wasted. Every small step, every moment of perseverance, every act of faith is recorded and valued. Sometimes the results are simply being prepared in a way that you cannot yet see. And when they do come, they often come in a way that makes you realize why the delay was necessary. Patience also protects your heart from frustration and despair. When you combine it with effort, you are no longer stuck in a cycle of helplessness. Instead, you are moving forward with purpose while keeping your trust in Allah. This mindset transforms your journey. It allows you to grow through the process rather than being broken by it. So keep striving, keep believing, and do not let delays discourage you. Your responsibility is to try your best and remain patient. The results will come at the right time, in the right way, by the will of Allah. Hope in Allah's perfect timing is one of the most powerful anchors a believer can hold on to, especially when life feels uncertain. We often become anxious because we want things to happen quickly, according to our own plans and expectations. But the reality is, Allah's timing is never early and never late, it is always precise. What is meant for you will come to you at the exact moment it is supposed to, not a second before and not a second after. And once you truly believe this, a lot of the anxiety you carry begins to fade. Sometimes you may feel like your dua is taking too long to be answered. You ask, you wait, and nothing seems to change. But what you do not see is how Allah is aligning circumstances, preparing you, and arranging matters in ways that require time. If everything came instantly, you might not be ready for it, or it might not benefit you in the way you think. Delays are not empty, they are filled with wisdom, growth, and unseen blessings. Hope keeps your heart alive during these waiting periods. Without it, a person can easily fall into despair, thinking that nothing will improve. But when you place your hope in Allah, it is different from placing hope in anything else. It is a hope rooted in certainty because Allah never breaks His promises. Even when the situation appears difficult, even when the path is unclear, you hold on because you know that Allah's plan is always better than your own. This hope also changes the way you experience your journey. Instead of feeling stuck, you begin to see each moment as part of a larger picture. You become more patient, more grateful, and more trusting. You understand that what is written for you will find its way to you, no matter how complicated things may seem right now. So never lose hope in Allah's timing. Continue making dua, continue striving, and keep your heart connected to Him. Because when the moment finally comes, you will realize that every delay, every hardship, and every moment of waiting had a purpose, and it all came together exactly when it was meant to. So my dear brothers and sisters, when you put all of this together, the message becomes very clear and very comforting. Life will always have its moments of uncertainty, its trials, its delays, and its questions. But through it all, Allah is in complete control. Nothing happens randomly, nothing is wasted, and nothing is beyond His wisdom. When you truly understand this, your heart learns to breathe again. Stop carrying what was never yours to carry. Stop stressing over outcomes that Allah has already written in the best possible way for you. Keep doing your part, keep striving, keep working, keep making dua, but do not let anxiety steal your peace. Because the one you're relying on never sleeps, never forgets, and never fails. Every trial is shaping you, every delay is preparing you, and every moment of uncertainty is bringing you closer to something you could not have planned for yourself. So hold on to patience, hold on to hope, and most importantly, hold on to your connection with Allah. And remember, when the time is right, you will look back and realize that what you thought was delay was actually protection. What you thought was loss was actually guidance. And what you thought was confusion was actually Allah taking you to exactly where you needed to be. So trust Him, rely on Him, and keep moving forward with a heart full of faith, because Allah is already making a way for you.